All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue to keep our eyes on this specific story of Taj Mahal that is being brought down, but to other news that should be of concern. This is news reaching us that is indicating that Nakuru Deputy Speaker Samuel Tonui is being held in police custody in connection with a deadly Njoro ethnic violence that has claimed 8 lives so far in Njoro, Nakuru County. MCAs have this morning stormed Njoro police station where he is being held in a bid to secure his release, stating that Tonui is diabetic and innocent till proven guilty. We are now joined by our reporter Elphas Lagat, who is live in Njoro. What's the update so far, Elphas?
Well, Zinzi, you've correctly mentioned that indeed Nakuru Deputy County Speaker Samuel Tonui alongside 11 others have been held in police custody. They spent their night in police cells. They were told to come and record statements in regard to the, whether they had a role in the ongoing heightened ethnic violence that we've witnessed in 8 villages in Njoro sub-county. So they've spent their night in Njoro police station where we are standing right now. Of course, as you've mentioned again, a number of MCs stormed this particular police station, demanding, rather stating that Tonui is, Samuel Tonui, the Deputy Speaker, is diabetic, and of course mentioning that he's innocent until proven guilty. He was held alongside 11 others in connection to the deadly violence that has rocked areas of Njoro sub-county. Of course, Zinzi, quick pointers is that to this point, an additional 1 person has been reported to have been shot dead yesterday. This is according to Regional Commissioner Mongo Chimwanga, who told us that 1 person has also been shot dead. He was a bit hesitant to point out whether it was indeed as a result of police gunning him down or as a result of arrows. Of course, now that is bringing the death toll to 9 officially, Zinzi, and of course there are reports and fears that there could be undocumented people who have died. You remember that those sections, they have huge sections where maize have been planted, so clearly pointing out and finding out exactly the number of people who've died is still a challenge to this point. Of course, this is a tension that has been elicited by the issue of land, which is an emotive subject between local communities here. One of the communities pointed out that in 1995 through to 1997, when government was giving out land in sections of Njoro, before the caveat of 1997, subsequently in the years to come, one of the communities is said to have sold huge sections of their land and moved deeper into the forest. Now, with the wave of evictions of illegal settlers in the forest, it is turning to a convoluted matter as the other community is now grappling on where to go. Now, this is now, eliciting this violence that we've witnessed in the recent days. Zinzi, allow me to just speak to one of the local leaders in Nakuru County, just real quick, to just give us their perspective. Thank you very much for speaking with KTN. We understand 11 people, including the Deputy Speaker, Samuel Tonui, are being held in police custody in connection with that violence that we've witnessed in the recent days. What do you have to say about this?
It's unfortunate that our leaders have been arrested, but I know, I'm very sure that the government is going on with the investigation, which we are waiting. But we want to urge the government, as the people of Njoro, that we need speed investigation, because the leaders have been held while there is animosity between the communities, because the leaders who are inside, the 11 leaders, are coming from the both communities. So we are requesting the government to move with the speed to investigate the case, the cause, and at the end of the day, we need the leaders who have been arrested to go to the ground and preach peace. We need peace in Njoro. We need cohesion between the communities, and the issue of land. I want to urge the President and the Deputy to take the issue of land in Njoro seriously.
And of course, as you're mentioning the issue of land, we've had issues of multiplicity of cut lines that is now, threatening the very core of existence of these 2 communities that are living in sections of Njoro. Yes. In your opinion, as a leader and as well as a resident of Njoro, what is that single most solution to this violence that have rocked these communities?
The solution, the first thing, leaders should be very careful in what they talk. The defamatory languages leaders use, this started from Narok, And as people of Njoro, we are very serious. We are taking this very serious. The senator for Narok has been talking with incitement language. He has been inciting people. As we are talking, he is free. He sometimes is talking with the people. He is talking to the people who have weapons, crude weapons, and he has not been taken inside. That is
that is a subject that can be picked by investigative bodies. Thank you very much for your sentiments on that matter. Zinzi, well, to this point, over 400 families have been displaced, and some of the schools, such as Nessuit, providing refuge for over 400 families and counting. To this point, Zinzi houses are being burnt down. Yesterday, an additional 30 houses were burnt down to ashes. At this point as well, we will be waiting to see what happens to the 11 persons, including the deputy county speaker, who have been arrested and are right now being held in police custody in Njoro. Of course, there you have it, the Zinzi. We will be keeping you updated on the happenings here, the clashes that have threatened the very core of the communities living in Njoro sub-county. Zinzi.
First, before I do let you go, you have mentioned the 400 families that have been displaced and have had to make makeshift camps in schools. Have you had a chance to talk to some of them? Have they been surviving for the past few hours away from their homes?
Well, Zinzi, that is a conversation that we really had, a lengthy conversation with them. The issues that are standing out is indeed their children are not going to school. The issue of hunger, of course, most of them lacking food. Well, to this point, there are some well-wishers, some stakeholders who've come on board to provide food assistance to some of the families. But of course, the numbers are huge. These are many people across the about 8 schools, Zinzi, that have been closed down and now serving as homes for these displaced persons. So we've had a conversation with them, saying most of them calling on to the government to find a quick way of alleviating this situation, of mitigating the violence and enabling them to go back to normalcy, saying that they cannot be staying in schools. The schools need to serve their mandate of being learning institutions, the candidates that have to do exams. So their call, the outcry for most of these people who are putting up in schools is that the county government and the national government should find a way of mitigating the violence, ending the violence between the warring communities, and enable them to go back to normalcy, to go back to their way of life, and enable children to go back to school and study. Zinzi, that is the situation. There you have it. We'll keep you more updated.